Lil Durk's last day is today. Chicago rapper Lil Durk's sister-in-law recently called OTF Vonni, King Von's cousin, a rat and a snitch in the M4 Higher Fed case in an Instagram post. Vonni was freed from detention, most likely under home arrest. According to the court today, she also disclosed that his file was modified to reflect that he is no longer in the care of the Bureau of Prisons. Vonni would then pick up a cell phone and text someone extremely close to him, but as that individual turned on him for snitching, Vonni revealed everything. "Yes, I'm trying to plea out on a 32, which is the base for an M for higher," Vonni wrote. "Max is 43, which is life, but I would remove 2 points for pleading. 1 point for pleading too soon, and 2 points for lacking any context. I only have 5 to 7 years, or 27 points, left. It's better than that, because I can't make it to the trial. Someone could elbow me. The way they treat other boys is not how I want to be treated." When he says he doesn't want to get gut like the other guys, he's actually referring to Jam, who also snitched on Lil Durk. But we'll discuss his fate in more detail later. However, I was able to solve the problem. What made you turn on Durk? And let me explain. Vonni FD and Infall Durk. When it was discovered that there was more body cam footage of Lil Ted begging to come out against Lil Durk and F members, the case was changed. It is unclear who Lil Ted is and what he informed. The federal government, as Durk's lawyer, took a long time to provide documents related to their bond request. The 2 primary ones are Vonni, who is also linked to Didi, and Lil Ted, his brother. Although it is a serious felony, having a gun in his trousers pocket when the police arrested Lil Ted at a nearby convenience store also benefited Vonni and
Dude had it. What about that? A man had it with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
Since Vonni and Didi were already in prison with Durk and Lil Ted had been taken, they would gather against him, elevate their familial ties to a new level, and snitch. Given that Lil Ted was being taken to the police, swear I'll tell you all about the passings, hoping not to be placed into jail. But it was already too late for them, he told the police at the station, his face wet before he even stepped.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
As he is escorted into the waiting cell, Led can be seen sobbing uncontrollably. He only wants to be released from prison so he can go back home by snitching.
Wait, hold on, you gotta relax for me, because I can't understand. Relax. What's the number? 7 what you saying, man? We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright? We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
You mean, no, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
According to court documents, Led was the first of the 3 to start snitching in the F case when they found out that someone had snipped using the family's last name in court proceedings. Everyone thought he was DD, but it was actually his younger brother. But now that D and Vonni are out, it truly happened as a result of their day. It is common for mothers and family to sit them down and talk them out of killing themselves in such circumstances. The police knew that they likely got them all together in one room with the goal of turning on Lil Durk because of their long-standing familial ties. As they are snitching and making things better for themselves, Lil Durk will through it. In case you missed it, the news claimed that Chicago rapper Lil Durk was involved in a fight inside a jail this morning. Lil Baby responded by tweeting, "Durk is the only thing that counts to me right now. Give the man a break," as everyone tried to figure out what would happen to Lil Durk. But it all began with a tweet last night about Glee. Lil Durk's friend from the first day, passing away in Chicago. Now that many members have been singled out, it raises the question of who would target F for retaliation. At this point, fans realized that members were being handled on the same day. LOL. And it's true that Tim and Rondo did part ways. Interviews, nonetheless, they were released to the public that same day. While some believe it to be a bizarre coincidence, others believe the FBI utilized it as a cunning cover to avoid investigating their role in the Lil Durk hit. As Lil Tim stated,
like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying f him and shit like that, cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
Same sentiment was even voiced by Quando Rondo, who said he wishes things had been handled.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever. Like, they could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
Both organizations that interviewed Lil Durk that same day commended him and said they wished things had gone differently. Many people believe that they moved rapidly because Lil Durk was about to be released from prison, even though this did not seem odd. 2. It's important to know the news that words from Durk's father have Lil Durk being released on a bond. Understand the date of his release. His lawyers made an offer that was too excellent for the judge to reject. Because this
the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son, for the release for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor. He wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
Lil Durk's court hearing had the prosecutors telling the judge they are willingly throwing away evidence against Durk while reading it out loud during his court hearing in front of everyone. The news reported, referring to the prosecution's decision to drop the evidence against him and grant him a release date. I wonder how the rest of his bond hearing will be affected by the prosecution's activities. Announced the withdrawal of the evidence against Durk, which is amazing. But the way they did it was just awful. They would say to the judge, "We are dropping this evidence." The song's lyrics state, "Told me." They gave Natty a try. "I've got a place." Take a look at the news. See your son shout, "No, no." The projector screen then displayed the news footage of Quando Rondo shouting no.
Now the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Which is a very unprofessional and dishonest way to introduce evidence. The judge will consider this while deciding whether or not to grant Durk a bond, even if the evidence is clearly very good. Charleston White even made the statement.
This is a real victory. Now that demonic force was a dark force. It was a dark energy. I think we now finally get to put that fire out. I don't think we'll hear drill music ever again. I don't think drill rappers would ever be celebrated ever again. Down goes the drill. So this is a victory for law-abiding Americans who like hip-hop music but don't like the killing part of it.
Just as Charleston White didn't like the idea of Durk leaving. Durk's lawyer, Drew Finneling, would reveal the date of his release while revealing how the prosecutors had sabotaged their own.
The other allegation they backed away from, which is huge, it shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy.
He claimed that the prosecution's case is deteriorating since they are unable to use Durk's lyrics anymore. Consequently, Durk's lawyer called the charges a farce. Lyric-based evidence was the only thing the feds had against him. But they are no longer even using it.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Ack. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
Drew was interviewing people in preparation for the judge's decision, which was due in a week. Durk would be spotted entering the courtroom as the news was being reported. The feds claimed that Lil Durk would not be eligible for a bond unless he filed for bankruptcy and gave up all he owned. They fear he will pay witnesses with his wealth.
Bond for Lil Durk. Let me tell you about what options he has left and why the bond was denied this time. Now, he's in federal court on a murder for hire charge where he faces the possibility of life in prison. What that means is under the federal law, it is presumed that you do not get a bond because the charge and the penalty are so serious. So your lawyer has to go out there and show why you should get a bond. Now, ultimately, what the district judge decided to deny the bond on was a couple of factors. There's a couple $1 million being put up, but it's not all being put up by Durk. Some of it is from the label, and ultimately Durk has a lot more money and assets than what's being put up. So if I let him out on bond and he tries to flee, he's going to have tons of assets and money at his disposal.
It seemed that Durk had already pursued witnesses, much like the feds feared he would do. Vonni wants to stay away from what happened to F Jam at all costs. Has anyone heard from Jam after he snitched on Durk? Was the announcement. Although a number of F members have left, he has been absent for months after being exposed as a snitch on DJ Vlad's show against Lil.
A guy named OTF Jam.
That was wired.
Very ironic name.
Jam got him
put
in a
everyone
jam.
in a jam.
Did 12 years.
12
got
years.
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This. Made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case, but eventually he flipped.
This immediately made headlines. F members discovered OTF Jam hiding in a crib outside of Atlanta. According to sources, Jam received a penalty for spying on F owner Lil Durk. A picture of the crime scene outside the home where Jam was staying, and where no one has heard from him since, is also included. However, you might be asking, what did Jam supply? It begins over 230 gigs of digital evidence, which includes audio recordings, video surveillance, and 20,000 pages of reports are being processed for discovery as Jam supplied them with that evidence. When Lil Durk initially realized that Jam had been wearing a wire the entire time, it was during this Instagram Live.
Hey, kid! Give me the check on your man. I heard you got his head. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I used to have a dare. Architect. Having a who? What happened to dare? School trying to stop down.
The fact that the police are now disclosing all of this information in 2025 supports what LOL Durk stated. In 2024, during an interview with DJ Academics,
See shit from a mile away.
I don't think people realize that.
I could have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know your is gonna cooperate.
Lil Durk has been playing 3D chess the entire time, as news outlets started to report. As Durk would go on to discuss this further, stating that he no longer even lets his friends know where he lives. He knew Jam would comply. He doesn't divulge any information. He is clearly saddened to learn that Jam...
Nobody is ever allowed to my house. It be our best friend never been to my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
Promise. Like, it's people like that I just don't allow around my girl and my kids. Cause it's like, I'm just a different type. I'm not the have family night at Durk house tonight. It's the you gotta watch
everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah, we gotta everybody getting watched. We gotta watch everybody. Hey, they go too close to them kids. You know what to do. Like, that's how I play. Like, I don't play.
Now, during this Instagram Live, Lil Durk gave Jam a $50,000 gift. But there's a reason why the police saved this Instagram Live. Additionally, I want you to pay attention to the background.
What's his name, bro? Steady crying, huh? He's steady crying. Feed him. Feed him.
Get him up so baby mama get the trigger, bro. See that?
Feed
for my
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. It's too much. Crazy though. Motherfuckers sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Not what I want to do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof, bro got out what?
You know that how many you did all?
How many years I did it now?
Yeah. That's your last bit. 12?
12.
That boy popped out 12 years. 12 years. So much money. We really just get in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
The federal authorities now looked into the people in the IG lot's background. They saw King Va buying jewelry with those same men, stating unequivocally that they were all close pals. And these individuals would be the first to seek retribution for Van's
solitary stone.
We just looked at him, man.
Let's go over there. What up, bro? Boss, you good? My boy. Let's go.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money man stepped in.
Academics would ask Durk's attorney if Lil Durk would consider a plea agreement given that Jam's snitching dossier has now been made public. He would respond, "No, we're going all the way for one reason."
You know, likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen like this seems like it's a do or die thing. This is kind of like it's gonna be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either are or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it, just entertain it, because that's your job to listen to it and maybe present it to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy commitment case. It's an all or nothing case, and he did not participate in a conspiracy to commit. And so there is no alternative. It's a life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to go to 12 people.
There's just one reason they're making the effort. In the end, Durk's attorneys have been using this tactic to argue that Lil Durk's music and online activities are just expressions of his First Amendment rights.
First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is
On the internet are even predicting that Lil Durk will be released from prison, just like Young Thug, because everything about him seems so promising.
We've seen it happen quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say it's been persuasive. I think the biggest example we look at is Young Thug down in Atlanta. They took a lot of his lyrics, and even though technically speaking, ultimately they got a conviction, he actually walked out on time served. Most of the people that were prosecuted didn't end up being convicted, and I don't